Hello everyone, welcome to Theo Explains, and in this video, I'm going to explain everyone's favorite game, Metal Gear Solid 1. It's just the best game ever to be made. So it was made on the PlayStation 1 and on the Nintendo GameCube. Well, it was remade on the GameCube, but they both have similar stories. There's only like some slight differences, but they're very minor. But I'm just going to talk about MGS1 on a whole, so don't worry. So let's start with the characters. This is Solid Snake. Solid Snake is kind of a clone of some character named Big Boss. He was like the best soldier ever made, ever to exist. So they cloned him naturally. I mean, everyone would want to clone that character and that person if they were the best. So Solid Snake is kind of an idiot the entire game. He doesn't know when people are lying to him. When people tell him like big revelations, he doesn't really question anything. He just kind of goes with it because he kind of hates life. Really, Snake is very depressed the entire game. He's just like, waiting for the sweet embrace of death. So this is what Snake. This is Solid Snake. Okay, this is Solid Snake. This is kind of a rush drawing, by the way. This is a quick drawing, so don't expect super details. Okay, don't stop it. So this is Solid Snake. He's whatever. So he has a CO named Colonel Campbell. Now, people might think of him as like the soup, Campbell's soup, and that's right. The Campbell's soup was named after this guy, but really, Colonel Campbell is an asshole. He lies all the time, never tells the truth to Snake, and when Snake even tries to get any information out of him, he tells him to stop talking, and Snake stops talking. It's kind of fucked up, but hey, it's Campbell. Campbell is is an asshole. He just lies until he gets his way. It's kind of his flaw, and no one really likes him. He's just kind of like an asshole the entire game. But that's just me. That's how I see him. And then we have Meryl, who is just like not really interested in anyone. She's just like kind of there to be the eye candy for Snake, but really she thinks that her dad is Rambo. She's like, yo, my dad is Rambo, and I want to be just like him. That's what Meryl thinks, but really, her dad is the lame ass fucking Colonel Campbell that no one likes, and this is what her hair looks like. It's kind of weird, fucked up hair, but it's kind of whatever. She has kind of a weird voice that I'm not really into, but it's whatever. The only thing that people remember of Meryl is her butt. That's the best thing about that character is her butt. That's the only thing about her that everyone like kind of remembers that and it sticks with them. So then we have Otacon, the biggest weeaboo loser that is just around Snake 24/7, who's just like, yo, Snake, he's the best. He is number one. Otacon really loves Snake. He's just like, he's in direct competition with Meryl to be with Snake. He's just like, yo, Snake is my man. That's Otacon. Otacon really loves Snake because he's the closest that he gets to being around a real live anime. Because Snake is basically an anime, and Otacon knows that that's the only time he could ever be with an anime. So then we have Naomi Hunter. Now let me tell you a little something about Naomi Hunter. Everyone hates this bitch, okay? Everyone's like, oh, Naomi Hunter's a bitch, and you know what? I agree. I think she is a goddamn bitch because think about it. When she was a little girl, she didn't have it. She didn't have a mom. She didn't have dad. She lost her parents to war or whatever, and all she had was some guy named Gray Fox, Frank Yeager, whatever you want to call him. He was like, "Yo, I'll raise her to be like my own." And then Snake kills her, and she gets mad, and she's like, "Yo, Snake, you killed my only family. How dare you?" See, that's fucking stupid. She couldn't even deal with it, and she's like, "I must be angry at Snake because when I was a little girl, and Gray Fox was like the only parental figure in my life, and he killed him. I obviously not gonna rationalize this and just be angry." And then there's this whole thing where she's like working with some third party that told her to do things to him, and that's fucking stupid. Fuck you, Naomi Hunter. It's not like you did anything good in your life, like anything. Fucking Naomi bitch, Miss. Oh, I have issues with Snake because he killed the only person that was like a father figure to me. But fuck you, Snake, and fuck you, Naomi. How dare you hate Snake, you fucking bitch? So yeah, everyone who hates her has a point. She's so fucking dumb. I mean, if you lost your family and someone killed your family, I bet you would be like, yo man, at least he's cool, right? Right? Yeah, okay. So that's Naomi. That's why everyone hates her, because like she's just kind of whatever. So then we have uh Revolver Kitty, and everyone's like, "Yo, Revolver Kitty's the best," and they make all kinds of memes, hot memes with him. And honestly, I could see the appeal, because Revolver Kitty is like the meme tested kind of guy. He has a pedo mustache and everything. He's like, "Yo, I really love things," and he's just like, he has a persona as well. I mean, hell, he's like part furry. Anyways, yeah, he has like cat ears because he's the best. He's the his favorite thing in the world is Colt, not a revolver gun. He loves revolvers. He's just like he gets off to them every night. He's like, yo man, revolvers are totally kawaii. So then we have Vulcan Bird. Vulcan Bird is kind of like a pointless character. No one really takes him seriously. Not even anyone he works with, because all Vulcan Bird does is talk to birds. That's all he does in the game. He just talks to birds, and he drives a tank. So no one really likes him. He's just like, yo, it's so fucking boring that he's in the game, and he has the worst boss battles, and he has this fucking stupid ass bird tattoo on his head. That's what Kojima puts on his head. That's what Kojima thinks looks like a bird, and that's Vulcan Bird. He's like, yo man, I talk to birds, and it's so cool. And he's kind of like the Aquaman of the group, so no one really cares about him. And then we have Sniper Dog. Sniper Dog is kind of like a femme fatale type character, but she has kind of an annoying voice. I'm not really into her accent, and she's kind of a shitty sniper as well, because She has to resort to using cheap tricks to lure Snake out from hiding, which is fucking lame and cheap and not really skillful. Anyone who just started sniping could do that kind of shit. So she's not really that badass, but a lot of people project their feelings of Quiet onto Sniper Wolf. So really, when they say that Sniper Wolf is badass, they really mean Quiet. Every time you ever see any compliments towards Sniper Wolf, they're really talking about Quiet. And if you hear any compliments to Quiet, they're really talking about Quiet. So it's all good. There you go. Uh, Sniper Wolf just kind of sucks. She does dress it. Her and Vulcan Bird kind of dress retarded for Alaskan weather. I mean, she shows like her cleavage, and she's like, "Yo, man, it's so cold, but I'm okay." And he's like shirtless. So these two are like very dumb when it comes to dressing appropriately for the weather, because they clearly have no idea what frostbite is. And then you have fucking uh, Cyborg Ninja Man, who is like into BDSM, because the entire time he is just begging to be punished. He's like, "Yo, Snake, hit me harder," and he's just like, he has a ball gag around his like mouth. It's kind of weird, but he says his one eye thing. He is like a Cyclops type deal, but man, he just really loves the punishment. He has his own little like BDSM dungeon that he goes to between cutscenes when you don't see him and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he even calls himself Deep Throat, so there you go. And then you have the man himself, Liquid Snake. Now, Liquid Snake is very smart. He's like the brightest person in the game, because he figured out that Solid Snake was his brother, while Solid Snake didn't realize until later on in the game, which makes no sense, because he should have at least considered the possibility that he might have a brother, because they both look exactly the same, but whatever. And then, like, Liquid kind of tricks him the entire game, and Solid Snake kind of falls for these simple tricks that anyone with a functioning brain could kind of be like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. But not Snake. Nope. He just kind of goes with it, because he has nothing better to do with his life. So this is Liquid. He's a whiner. He kind of cries all the time. Like, he is just nothing but a little bitch. But the one thing he makes up for his little bitchiness is how smart he is and how bright he is. But other than that, he just kind of cries all the time. So no one really likes Liquid Snake that much. But because when people say they like Liquid Snake, they really like Solidus. So let's get started with how the story is. So first off, Snake is just like chilling, and he's just like, yo, Camel, you got that weed? Because Snake is a smoker, and Camel's his connection. That's where he gets the weed, and Camel's like, no, Snake, you're not gonna get weed. You're gonna work for me, and you're gonna take down these terrorizers, and you're gonna love it. and you're gonna do for Uncle Sam. And that's what he tells him. That he's pointing at him ferociously, and he's just like, "Yo, you do this shit, and I'll give you all the weed you want." So he does it. He does the job, and then so he does the job. He goes to meet Meryl because Meryl is obviously part of the mission parameters is to rescue. But he doesn't do it. He just kind of watches Meryl do something through the vent. She's just like, sitting there. She's like, yo, I'm bored. So, like, she does the only thing that, kind of gives her any enjoyment while being a prisoner. Like, she does a lot of crazy things that no one really, noticed in the game, that's still in the game. For some reason, no one realizes that she kind of pleasures herself in the game, but it's okay. I mean, it's PS1 graphics, so they were able to get away with anything. So after that, he meets some other guy. He's like, he calls himself like Donald DARPA Chief or whatever his dumbass name is, and he's like, yo, Snake, I fucking definitely gave the codes to Metal Gear to the terrorists. They have it now. They're ready to launch a nuke probably. You just gotta talk to some guy named Baker, and then you will get the full story. But son, they got everything. So what about the Pentagon? Tell me about the Pentagon. And Snake's just like, whoa, son, tell me about Metal Gear first. And he's like, oh shit, you knew about Metal Gear? And he's like very surprised, and he's just like, oh shit, he knows. And he tells him, hold on, that was supposed to be the directional button. And then he's like, yo, Metal Gear is like really a cat. It's a cat gear. They call it Metal Gear Kitty, and it's like very kawaii. It has cat ears. It has eyes. Has the whole like kitten caboodle. He's like, yo, son, this is like fucked up shit. This thing gets activated, we're all fucked. And that's what like DARPA Chief's telling him. So then Snake is like, all right, let's get you out of here. And as soon as he tells him that, Donald, the DARPA Chief, whatever you want to call this fucking loser, dies from a heart attack. And he's like, oh shit, my heart, it sucks, man, I'm dead. And Snake is like, oh shit, why is he dead? And Naomi the bitch, tells him that, oh, Snake, it's just a heart attack, don't worry about it. And she's just like, troll, it's a heart attack. And he buys it because Snake doesn't really think about why this guy would die all of a sudden. And then he goes on to meet Revolver Kitty, who is just like, yo, Snake, do you love revolvers? I love revolvers. They're the best. It's like the best thing in the world. It's like cats on ecstasy. It's like, yo, son, this revolver is like the best thing. It can kill everything that moves and you're moving, so it can definitely kill you, son. And he's very excited. He's just like, pretty much wetting himself at the thought of using that gun. And then the dungeon, the BDSM ninja dude comes in. He's like, yo, I'm gonna take that hand. I'm gonna bring it back to my BDSM dungeon. So he takes the hand and he's like, yo, son, this hand is now mine. I'm gonna take it to my BDSM dungeon so I can do things to it. So he takes his hand and he's like, oh, and then he leaves. He kind of disappears. Ocelot runs away because he's a little bitch. And Ocelot is his persona name. His real name is Revolver Kitty, but he likes to be called Ocelot because that's his persona. So then you have this Baker guy who's like, you Snake, I have broken arms, and the bad guys got the codes, but they can't get codes through mind reading. So whatever Anderson told you was a lie. And Snake is like, oh shit, I don't fucking believe it. But he ignores Baker. He's like, there's no way Anderson told me the truth. So they got all codes, because obviously what Baker said is a lie. It's not like he fucking worked on the project or anything. No, fuck Baker. He doesn't know shit. He has a broken arm and he cries all the time. So then he dies from a heart attack as well, and Naomi gives him the same run and thinks like, okay, it's a heart attack. So then after all that shit, he tries to make his way to find Otacon, but then he sees Vulcan Crow and he's like, yo, Snake, I'm in a tank and you can't kill me, and son, I have birds all over the place, so they're gonna tell me where you are. If you try to escape, I'm gonna kill you regardless. And he's just so gung-ho because this is the first time he's seen action in like months. So he uses this tank to like kind of destroy Snake, or at least try to, but then he gets foiled by a grenade, because grenade is apparently more powerful than a tank, because that makes perfect sense. And then after that, the key card just kind of flies out of the tank and lands in Snake's pocket, because again, makes perfect sense. This is Snake's pocket right here. That's his pocket. So then he goes to meet Otacon. As he meets Otacon, he finally sees the BDSM robot that's like, "Yo, Snake, hurt me, please. I like the pain." And Snake is like, "Okay," and he's like, he's here. This is what Snake is like holding right now. He's like holding a spanking paddle. He's like, yo, Ninja, you're gonna like feel this in the morning." He's like very excited. He's like very happy because also he's also into BDSM because because that's how he found out that this guy was really Frank Yeager because they both love BDSM and they were both BDSM buddies. So they figured that out, and then he talks to Otacon, and Otacon's like, "Yo, Snake, that's like some hentai shit, so kawaii." And he talks about like animes he loves and some other weeb shit. Like, "Yo, this anime is like amazing, and I made Metal Gear like that anime because I love anime, Snake. Anime is the best, okay? Anime. That's all he is, anime. Otacon is anime, okay? That's his gimmick. And then those two kind of form a loving relationship, and they go on to try to find Meryl. They find Meryl, but really they're just drawn to her butt, doing butt things, and they're like, "Yo, Meryl got a nice butt. Look at that butt." And it's so glorious, and they keep talking about it for like 20 minutes, and then Praying Mantis comes in. Praying Mantis is is like a very psychotic kind of guy. He can control people's minds. He's like, "Yo, Snake, I'm gonna like control her now, and you're gonna have to fight her, and then fight me because that's how it goes." And then he gets destroyed. He dies. Bam, dead. And he opens the pathway to Sniper Wolf because that's how it is. Sniper Wolf is also her persona. She likes being called Sniper Dog. Since Sniper Dog is a shitty sniper, she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna fucking use bait because why am I gonna ever use skill to take down Snake, right? It's so fucking stupid." So she shoots Meryl because that's an easy fucking target because Meryl's like, "Yo, man, I got this laser sight on my leg. I should just stare at it for a moment." And she's like, "Yo, son, that's..." And then he gets shot. And then she gets shot and she's on the ground. So then Snake has to go from here. This is where they are. This is where Snake is. He has to go from there all the way to the first building, down another level to get to the sniper rifle, then go up, then go all the way back there, go back down, go this way, go that way, go back to where the sniper is, and they have to go all this backtracking because everyone loves backtracking. This is the best thing about the game. So then, after that, after he fights her, she's like, "JK, you're coming with me," and he's like, "Okay, I guess I'm your prisoner." And he's like very sad. He like contemplates suicide for a while, and then he meets his brother, and he still doesn't realize that they're brothers until like the end of the game. So he's like, "Yo, Snake, we got you. You're now our prisoner, and we're gonna do all kinds of shit to you that we know you're into because that Ninja told us all your kinky shit." And he's just like, "Oh shit, bring it, son." He's like here strapped to a torture board, and he's just like, "Son, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I don't care if my clothes are gone. I have everything I need to take you down." So he's just like hanging there, and he's gonna get tortured by Revolver Kitty because that's all they do is torture him. And then Otacon's like, "Snake, I love Sniper Wolf so much that I'll give you a way out." And he gives him ketchup because ketchup is the best way to trick a dumb soldier because to think that ketchup is blood because ketchup and blood are the same thing. So he gives him that. And Otacon keeps telling more about how he has Stockholm Syndrome for Sniper Wolf, and he's just like, "Oh shit, son, you're fucked up." And then Snake breaks free, and he makes his way to the two towers over here. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna fucking get down there to make my way to Metal Gear because that's the best way to do it." And then right on the roof, he fights a helicopter. It's kind of a shitty boss fight, to be honest. No one really likes that part of the game. It's just like, you're just using a Stinger launcher and just kind of shooting him, and it's kind of lame. So then you go here, and here is where the best shit happens. For once, Sniper Wolf's like, "Wait, I am a sniper. I don't need fucking bait to fight this guy." So she actually snipes him for once, and then she dies because she sucks. And Otacon finally realizes the winning team is Snake, so he's just like, "Oh, okay, later, Snake. You're my senpai," and then he leaves. And as he leaves, you go down like this whole like labyrinth of like shit, and then you fight Vulcan Raven in here. Vulcan Raven is his other persona. All these people have personas, so that's why I keep going between their actual name and their persona because They like being called their personas, and that's what the game keeps calling them. So they fight. Vulcan Raven or Vulcan Bird, however you want to call him, is like, yo, Snake, I'll tell you the truth. That DARPA chief you met isn't the real DARPA chief, so everything he told you is probably a lie. And Snake is like, nah, he must be telling the truth, because why would a body double be there? And doesn't really think that maybe what Vulcan Raven's saying is the truth, or even considers it, because obviously he doesn't really believe shit, but he believed that Campbell is hiding shit, but he doesn't believe this shit, so he doesn't really think, and he continues on to do dumb shit because he's an idiot, because he doesn't put two and two together. He doesn't think of what Anderson told him and what Baker told him and what Vulcan Raven told him. No, he doesn't think anything like that, because that requires using your head, and Snake isn't really keen on using his brain. So then he goes on and he activates Metal Gear Kitty for no fucking reason, because he was an actual idiot, as I said multiple times, that thought that Liquid was Miller the entire time, even though he had the same voice and everything. So it's kind of fucking dumb and lame, but whatever. Snake destroys it with a Stinger rifle, missile launcher, whatever. He kills it. The Metal Gear dies. Then he fights with Liquid, and Liquid's like, "Yo, Snake, you're better than me, even though you're the most gullible person I've ever met." And they fight, and they're like, "Yo, son, let's do this. Let's end it." And then Liquid finally dies because he's a piece of shit. He's the worst character in the game. So he dies. He's dead for good. And he never comes back ever again. He's dead. He's deader than like any other person that's dead. So there you go. So then we have this nice little scene where Snake meets up with Otacon, and Otacon's like, "Yo, Snake, you came to save me," and Snake's like, "Damn right I did." And he's like, "Oh, this is so kawaii, Snake," and he's like, "Yeah, it is." And then they both go off on their little like moped, whatever that thing is. At the end of the game, they're like, "Yo, let's go to like Mars." You do some like 2001 Space Odyssey reference nonsense, and then Meryl's left behind pantsless because Snake needed some pants. So there you go. So that is Metal Gear Solid 1. It is a piece of shit game. Actually, no, it's actually the best game because it had Meryl's butt, all like uncensored. It's the best game ever made, and it has no flaws, nothing. The characters are all smart. Snake is like very smart. He's very cool because he is just the best character in the game. He knows everything. He believed that Snake was Miller, even though he wasn't Miller, and then he didn't question what Vulcan Raven said or anything. And then it had some nice credits where Naomi kind of apologized to Snake, but people still hate her regardless. And then Revolver Kitty's like, "Yo, I'm talking to the next Snake, son. The next Snake is my next BFF." And he's like, yo, Mr. President, I did this shit. Liquid is dead, and Solid is still alive, but Solid thinks he's the bee's knees, but he sucks. They both suck. You're the real deal. And that is going to be continued in Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. So that's it. That's Metal Gear Solid 1 in a nutshell. That's basically what it is. Everyone who's like going to say, "Oh, you're wrong, Theo, this is actually what happened," they're lying. It was really kiddie gear. Snake didn't really think about what Vulcan Raven said. It had great level designs, and it had such great everything. Everything about this game was brilliant, especially the way the weeb character. He was very believable because he was like the most realistic character in the game. He's like, "Yo, this is like an anime," and it was so close because basically Metal Gear Solid 1 is an anime. So that's it. Thanks for watching this video series. See you in the next